Hey y'all, let's do a reading real quick, shall we? I really just wanted to do a reading for those of us who braved the holidays alone, who might have interacted with tons of people throughout the 2 weeks of the holiday season, and then now, afterwards, there's so much going on in the world, and it's really natural to feel like we need a shoulder to cry on or we need someone to talk to when there's so much happening in the world right now. So I wanted to pull a reading to give those of us who are alone and those of us who don't have someone to meet them at the end of a long day with a cup of tea or someone to brave the outdoor cold or weather with them. Those of us who don't have someone to help them move their belongings out of a house as the neighborhood starts to catch on fire. I want to give some type of hope if I can. That's what I ask the universe for in terms of the rest of the year and what we're going to look forward to. Very specifically for those of us who either are physically alone or who feel alone. All right, so the bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. As I've been doing, let's go ahead and put that up there. She says, yeah, transformation, new beginnings have to come from an ending, right? Okay, Death card. The World. Already this reading is just the Page of Cups and the Magician. Wow, look at all this major arcana. I think the next one, the next one is, we've got a 5-card spread here. Sorry about the glare. Yeah, and underneath that is the 8 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, it's really quite simple. We've been talking about this on this channel, and I think other people have talked about it that I've seen. This year has a potential to be amazing, but the action of it, like on paper, it might look, or spun the right way, it might look pretty terrifying and very chaotic because there's a lot going on very, very fast. And it will happen. It'll continue to happen. Many things going on very quickly. And it's really what we transform it into personally and how we bloom in the situations that we are put in, that we're placed in. I want to come up with a better word than put in, but the situations that we find ourselves in, how we bloom in those experiences. It's how we interpret our world and how we gain new perspective. This is the best energy right now for gaining new perspective because we have a sort of collective consciousness sense of curiosity. We really do. That's just in the energy. It's like, what would happen if? Like, there's so many I'm going to fuck around and find out moments. And we've talked about this as well. There's going to be many opportunities to fuck around and find out. Like, you'll be given many chances in this energy. So don't be afraid of risk when you go to learn your new perspective, when you're processing. And I think something about the Lovers card, particularly in this in this deck, there's really something about this sense of love that is compassionate, of love that is, well, blind, of love that is unconditional. And moving forward with that, I think, is your best bet. So as long as you're making choices with the motivation of love, whether it's towards someone, towards yourself, or towards just the love of experiencing, the love of learning, the love of life, if you do things with passion and like your heart feels good. On the other side of that, if your heart does not feel good, if you're feeling heartbroken, if your heart hurts, if you realize pain, and I'm sorry, I'm shaking the table. That's totally me. It's not like some spirit or something. If you realize pain in your heart, really do yourself this compassionate, unconditional love gesture and give yourself some time. I think a really great lesson that we can come out of with all of this is that we need to have time to grieve. Like, this world is so fast and the energy is moving so fast and everything's on social media and everything's given, the attention span of a goldfish. But grief does not work like that. Grief is very primal, just like so many things. Like many, many emotions are just nothing but primal instinct and primal reaction and primal pain. So grief is one of those things, and we have to really give it some time and really go through it. And I would hope that most people would have compassion for that if you need to do that. I think they do. We just don't want to give ourselves enough time, I think, mostly. And if there's somebody who says that you should be done grieving, if you can't educate them differently, that person is not for you. All right. Should we pull any clarifiers on this? I'm not even sure that we should, but let's go ahead and pull on death. Let's pull a few clarifiers. I think there's also, I have really strong feeling of needing to connect with your intuition. Of course, we see that in the King of Swords, is this intellect that you've built, this intellect that's brought you here, that's taken you through the world. You can really tone down on the over-analyzing. You can really pull back on the overthinking and really just move on instinct, because your brain knows what you've learned. You don't have to relearn it. You don't have to overthink it. A lot of us, I think, have trouble really tuning into our instinct because we doubt our own knowledge. We doubt ourselves, and we doubt our intentions, and we doubt the knowledge that we've spent years and years building. Leaning into your instinct is not a woo-woo thing. Leaning into your instinct and intuition is about using the knowledge that you've gained over your lifetime in a quick, efficient, and goal-minded way, right? If we're overthinking things, then we're pulling it apart in many different directions, and we can focus on the thing that won't actually help us in the long run. Overthinking just kills ideas. It does. Anyway, okay. We've got this is the Knight of Wands, Son of Wands. And we've got the Two of Wands, the Sun. Wow, that's that is so powerful to have with the Death card. So we've got death, rebirth. We've got this cycle where we're ending something, and death is less of a scary card than even the Tower or, oh my gosh, the 10 of Swords. Death is just the end of one thing, the beginning of a new thing. So kind of demystify that. The Two of Wands, sometimes we're choosing passionate, sometimes it's the second step in a process to a goal of ambition. But the Sun is the greatest, most life-giving, powerful, brilliant force that we can come across in our lifetimes. And then the Six of Wands indicates fresh beginnings and like a sense of victory after we've gone through some type of battle. You know, you put them all together, what a powerful thing that is when something does have to die for something to be reborn. Sometimes we have to go through something to get to something better on the other side. And it's really that simple sometimes. It's not like it's the absolute end of something. Some relationships, like for example, you have to really end a friendship in a way if it transitions into you being lovers. You have to end the friendship. I mean, you're still friends, yes, but the dynamic of having that physical, intimate relationship after that, it totally changes everything and anything. So the death of the friendship becomes something else. So it can be as simple as that. It doesn't have to have this heavy connotation. But in this case, I think there's so many little deaths. There's so many things that have the opportunity to no longer serve us, have the opportunity to then become something else. And having that Six of Wands is absolutely perfect, indicating that we really are at that point where we have gone through the battle stages, the war, the challenges, the trials of whatever predicament it is, and the lessons that we need to learn. And we're to the point where we can enjoy what we've learned and build something from that. All right. So what about this world with the double-ended dildos? I get, this deck was like painted a long time ago, but come on. Those, like, I know we had, surely they were invented before this deck was drawn. Anyway, yeah, there's a couple of double-ended dildos and some animals and a guy. The World is a great card, though. Okay, that's it. It's late, guys. Okay, the Nine of Cups. Yeah, the Five of Swords. Another death card. And the Devil. Interesting. Yeah, she's the universe is being funny at this point because she's like, you know what, Rose, screw you. I like this card. This is really a message for me more than it is for y'all. So what I will say about the world is there is, of course, an element here. It's not all roses and rainbows and fortune after difficulty and all that. There's a real potential to muck yourself up here. And if you do listen, you're leaving a lot on the table. If you listen to the devil, the negativity or your self-doubt, or other people who might cut you down, or other people who say, oh, it's not worth it, or the people other people who dissuade you and put a negative tone into your dreams and goals, people who, why would anyone do that for control, right? People who want to control you will try to discourage you from following your dreams. Period. End of story. If I mean, I don't know why it's so rare and so weird to find people who encourage you, really encourage you unconditionally in whatever you want to do. Because that should be the thing. We only get this one life. We only get this one fucking life, as far as we know, right? You want to do something, do something. As long as you don't hurt anybody else in the process, fucking do it. Do it. I mean, life is very, very short. So, there is a potential for you to be dissuaded, for you to be discouraged into not following through in this energy on the things that you want to do, on what lights you up, on your world. There's a potential. So universe is like, hey, oh, what about this? Well, okay, I told them. I also think it's hilarious because that was definitely for me. But now, guess what? Now I've already put down the devil and the other death card. So what's left? All right, the Page of Cups. There's just definite energy with the Page of Cups for me right now today, this reading of this sort of ethereal, I really want to say page, but this a scribe. Yeah? This ethereal scribe, less of a page, more of a scribe. A little bit of a Of course, a scribe isn't a thing in tarot per se, but it's almost like you're we'll see if the clarifiers have anything to say. Yeah, there's this, my vision. She's like, I'm going to give you every, yeah. Ethereal? Really? Okay. Yeah. 10 of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Yeah, there's there's a this is very, very weird. Very, very weird energy. For some of you, there might be lessons from someone else that come through, but they're not, you might encounter this, right? This might be a friend, a family member, someone who is discouraged, and they're really not telling you. But I don't know, this person has there's a lot of love involved. This is really, hold on. I just want to make sure I'm not, you know how I say that all the readings from the beginning of tarot reading are influenced by the reader and the time in which they're pulled, and no reading comes out of a vacuum. I just want to pull a couple cards. I just want to make sure this isn't me, because I'm coming out a lot. Like, the universe is really playing with me, or I'm unable to separate myself from the rest of the reading. And I know that y'all, I mean, if you're following this channel, we have some kind of connection, right? So if this resonates, it resonates. And there's more than just one of us experiencing this situation, right? So this reading could be for you, but the universe is kind of messing with me. So we've got the Three of Swords on the bottom. I just want 3 cards. The Queen of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Empress. Okay, so these are 5 very, very separate cards, which is what's frustrating to me, because I like a transition. I like flow. I like a story to be told. But these are 5, and so usually it's like 5 different chapters of one book, right? Makes sense. This is 5 different fucking books. This is 5 different books, completely different. So here, apparently, and it makes it really hard to do a reading because there's a lot of shit going on. And if all of this shit is going on for you, then this reading's definitely for you, but it's hard. Okay. So Page of Cups. And what I really wanted to say didn't make any sense with the rest of the reading, but it doesn't matter. It's all separate. So listen. Page of Cups. There is someone in your life who believes to have a new vision, a new understanding, accepted a previously unthought level of importance. They have assigned that to your relationship. It feels spiritual, but I can't really say that they're in a spiritual place. And some of them might think that your relationship is spiritual or has a level to it that it is more powerful than your average connection. And so that someone does love you a lot, but they're bringing a lot of stuff with them. And they're approaching it with this, they're approaching it with this heady, not performative, but almost like they really want to match your energy. Does that make sense? They really, really want to match your energy. And you're into tarot and you're watching this and you might be into other esoteric things and this. So they really want to get themselves up to that level. Like they want that aura, right? They want that aura. They want to meet you at that aura. And like I said, they have a lot of love for you and they think that you're amazing, but they are coming. I'm not even thinking that the place that they're coming from is insecure or is any way performative. Like I said, it's not like they're putting on a front or like this Queen of Pentacles is false in any way. It's just I think they might be a little too I don't know. I just get a feeling that you're not going to respond really well to it. Like you're going to think that they're doing exactly what I just told you they're doing. Like you're going to see through it. So what I would keep in mind is, whether they come to profess their love to you or whether they come to, apologize for something. This could be a family member. This could be a family member who did you dirty or who you've cut off. And now they're like, they've gotten spiritual, they found God, whatever the situation, they are still bringing some garbage. So I really, it's almost like they want you to work on it, both of you. And you might want to do that. So what I'm saying is that you might see through this situation where they're sort of coming at you, like sort of floating in the air in a yoga position with their hair flowing in the background, and they might come to you and you might go, oh my gosh, really? All this? Really? Like, okay, like real angels are smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee at the corner diner. Like, really? What are you doing? But I think the stuff that they're bringing you is valuable. And I think if they do want to collaborate with you, whether it's emotional, spiritual, whether it's just talking something out with them, I think it's worth it to do that. If you want to, I think it's worth it to do that. They certainly want to at this point. They think you're really fucking cool. They think you're really fucking cool. I don't know what else to say. Okay, so that's book number 3 in our... Man, this is going to be a short reading, and I am so sorry. The Magician. Why is the Magician here? Book number 4. What do you have to tell me about this? Oh my goodness. Either there's a lot of you or there's just so much going on, right? That's the problem with this energy, is there's so much going on and it's going so fast. You know, I'd love for readings to go in a story, but I haven't read in a while. I haven't read in like 5 days. And there's apparently so much that I need to pull on. I am trying to do a whole series. I'm going to do, I think, Saturday. I'm going to spend the whole day doing a series on the sun signs. Well, really, all aspects, if it's in your chart. But, all placements. But, there's just so much going on, I think, that that's why I'm getting the book. So 8 of Cups. 5 of Cups already came up, didn't it? Or did at some point. 8 of Cups. Yeah. Okay, so for those of you who are just listening, God bless you. And that's a 6 of Cups, and we've got a 10 of Cups, and we've got another Fool. Yeah, so these two are definitely together. I don't know if the rest of the cards are going to be like that, but these two, you've got the Page of Cups underneath all this, and then you've got the Magician. Whoever this person is, there is a very strong desire to start over somehow. And it could be someone who you really don't expect. So don't get your hopes up. I mean, some of us start with tarot to explain WTF, right? And there's always that one person that tips the scales, that makes us go in dark mode and start with really esoteric stuff like tarot, right? So that's what I'm saying. I was like, this might not be the person that you are hoping it is or thinking it is. So keep an open mind and don't be disappointed if it's not, okay? But this person thinks you're absolutely amazing, and they are going, I mean, not just amazing, but just like everything. And they really, really do want to start over. You know, I kind of wonder about, it's a strong connection too. You don't get the 6 of Cups for a chance encounter. I mean, that's like soulmate stuff. But there's a potential, I think, just a little bit of having this smoke and mirrors situation of where maybe they're still holding back a little bit. Yes, they want to express. Maybe they want to share the 10 of Wands. Maybe they want to unload their burdens on you, but maybe they don't. Maybe they want to, but maybe they don't. And there's a little bit, I mean, the Magician generally isn't deceptive, but they sort of have the tools to create a smoke screen. So that's, if these are read together, that's possible. I'm just saying, especially with the 8 of Cups, if they're coming in this mode, walking away from 8 broken cups, I mean, everybody's got garbage that they don't want anybody else to know. You know, and there are very, very few of us who have shared everything with one person, right? There's all kinds of stuff, right, that we don't want anyone to know everything about us, right? I mean, we shouldn't care, honestly. I think there's 1 or 2 people who know just about everything about me, but it depends on how well we know ourselves, right? You can't tell somebody something about yourself if you don't know it already. All right, the King of Swords. Why is it here? Is this part of the whole thing? Of the two? Is it book number 4? What is it? Oh. Yeah, I think there's just a lot. There was just a lot that needed to come out, and we just had to have a couple readings in one. And what the original question was is, how do we have hope? How do we get through this time? She answered that, and then she's like, and this other thing. And by the way, this other thing, I know what y'all really want to know about. Okay, okay. It's the King of Swords. Okay, okay. Okay, we've got the Knight of Wands. The Hermit. Yeah, the Seven of Wands and Temperance. So kind of bookending our little love story we have going on here is the sort of global situations and where we're at with the planets and how we can more successfully carry ourselves through this time and work to better ourselves versus crashing down into, the Five of Swords. So the King of Swords, and on top of it, to clarify, I did lay the Hermit and the Seven of Wands and Temperance. So it's really time to sort of galvanize what your perspective is. Like, it's almost like you have to, like, yes, be flexible, and that's why the mutable signs are going to do so well and are already doing so well in this energy, is you have to be flexible, you have to be open-minded, you have to entertain different perspectives and points of view. But what this is telling us is that there really is a potential here for you to galvanize your own sort of playbook. There's opportunities for you to know yourself deeper if you're just patient with the energy as it rushes by. Suddenly you will become more self-aware, more confident, and more in tune with those strengths that you have. And that's what she's talking about. And I think that that's the real lesson, and that's really what I asked for. Thanks, universe, finally, the last card. The last fucking card. But that's the real takeaway, I think, here. Unless you've got this love story going on, then fine, bless your hearts. But we really, really, really have that opportunity too. So I'm not saying, the Hermit's a strong card for this. But when the Hermit came out of the cave, the Hermit then had different ideas, right? So we've got the story of this, a hermit taking time to separate from the world a little bit in order to gain a perspective and process what they know about the world so that they can go back into the world and do good or be successful or have that self-awareness, right? That's the real lesson of the Hermit. It's not necessarily just holding yourself up and getting away from society. There's the other half of it. It's gaining that perspective and then leaving the cave, walking out and being of greater good to society, right? With that gained perspective and that self-awareness. Really, the intellect, the forward movement, the confidence of the King of Swords and the Hermit, and then you've got the Seven of Wands and Temperance. It's, as you watch this unfold, as everything happens in super speed, you're flexible in thought, you're flexible in action, you're flexible with your mind, but you can stay rooted in your own self-awareness, in your own perception, in your own beliefs, perhaps, in your own identity as it becomes more and more evolved. To stay rooted and grounded in that awareness and confidence, I think, is a potential if you're patient with yourself. Because we all have our moments where we fly off the handle and we've got a road rage or whatever, right? But having temperance will really help ground us to that awareness. So that's the real message here. Gosh, good reading, but I did not expect this, and I have no idea if y'all did either. All right, that's the reading. Good luck out there, everybody. Remember that this is a reading of the time, but it is also timeless. So whenever you come to it, you were meant to find it. If you watched it this far, you were definitely meant to find it. All right, thanks, guys.